Greetings to the 12 tribes of Yasharala and to those that are grafted in. I am back with another video. And in today's video is going to be entitled, What Must I Do to Be Saved? What must I do to be saved? And we have a lot of scriptures to go into today, but we know that the Most High desires that we seek wisdom and in all that get understanding, because we are going to go upon line, precept upon precept to build and to be edified in this lesson, because that's where we went astray in the Christian church, with pastors taking one passage or one sentence from, one verse from an entire book and building a sermon around it and kind of teaching or preaching their own interpretation into the Bible instead of drawing from the Bible. And so we're going to go ahead and get into it. As I stated, this lesson may be long. I pray that it's not. I pray, it stays around an hour or less, but we do have a lot of reading to do. So what must I do to be saved? That is a question that we were told in the Christian church. Oh, believe in your heart, believe in your, believe and confess with your mouth, and that's it, you say, but the scriptures tell us otherwise. There are a lot of scriptures that were removed from the records, and there are scriptures that are in the records that tell us what we must do to be saved. So let's go ahead and jump into it, you all. Excuse me. Ezra, second Ezra, I'm going to be coming from the Apocrypha, second Ezra 2, verses 20 through 23. Second Ezra 2, second Ezra, second chapter, verses 20 through 23. And it reads, do right to the widow, judge for the fatherless, give to the poor, defend the orphan, clothe the naked, heal the broken and the weak, laugh not a lame man to scorn, defend the maimed, and let the blind man come into the sight of my clarity. Keep the old and young within thy walls, and whithersoever thou find a dead body, take them and bury them, and I will give thee the first place in my resurrection. Okay. So this is the Most High Ahia telling us what we must do to be saved, what he expects for salvation. All right, so now we are going to go to the Sheperd of Hermas. The Sheperd of Hermas, chapter 21, verses 8 through 11. All right, one moment, you all. Here we go. Sorry about that. All right. And it reads, abstain not from any good works, but do them. Hear, said he, what the virtue of these works is which thou must do, that thou mayest be saved. The first of all is faith, the fear of Ahiah, charity, concord, equity, truth, patience, and chastity. There is nothing better than these things in the life of men. Who shall keep and do these things in their life? Hear next what follows these. To minister to the widows, not to despise the fatherless and the poor, to redeem the servants of Ahiah from necessity, to be hospitable, for in hospitality there is sometimes great fruit, and not to be contentious, but be quiet, to be humble above all men, to reverence the aged, our elderly, to labor, to be righteous, to respect the brotherhood, and to bear affronts, to be long suffering, not to cast away those that have fallen from the faith, but to convert them and to make them be of good cheer, to admonish sinners, not to oppress those that are our debtors, and all other things of a like kind. This is what we were told that is expected of us in Second Ezra, and the Sheperd of Hermas confirms it as well. Now we are going to go to the book of Matthew 25, verses 34 through 46. And verse 34 reads, And then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, and inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Master, when saw we thee hungry and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came to visit thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, in so much as ye have done this unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it also unto me. Then shall he say unto all them on the left hand, Depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and you visited me not. Then shall they say unto him, Master, when saw we thee hungry, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I said unto you, insomuch as ye did not, as you did not to one of the least of these, you did it not unto me. And then these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into everlasting and eternal life. Okay, so now we are going to go to the Apocalypse of Paul. Oh, excuse me, y'all. All right. Okay. So I'm in the Apocalypse of Paul, starting at verse 39, the second verse. Now, for those of you all who are not familiar with the Apocalypse of Paul, when Paul met our King Yeshua on the road to Damascus, um, and he was blinded for 3 days. He wasn't just blinded for 3 days, but he had an amazing experience. He was able to see, his eyes were open. He was taken above the earth. He was able to see, the evil angels working and also the holy angels working. He was able to see how everything works behind the scenes. And he also was taken basically to heaven and hell, and saw what took place there. And then he asked to see um like a righteous person leaving the earth. He saw a righteous person that had lost their lives and left the earth, and the how the judgment took place. And he also saw an unrighteous person leave the earth and what took place with that as well. So we're going to go into that as well in this lesson. But right now I am reading the Apocalypse of Paul, verse 39, but I'm going to start at the second paragraph. And again, I observed there were men and women with hands cut and their feet placed naked in a place of ice and snow, and worms devoured them. But seeing them, I lamented and asked, Sir, who are these? And he said to me, These are they who harmed orphans and widows and the poor, and did not hope in a higher, for which cause they unceasingly pay the proper penalties. So this is again Apocalypse of Paul 39, and now I'm going to jump down to the 40th verse. And again, I'm going to start reading from the second paragraph. And after that, I saw men and women clothed with rags full of pitch and fiery sulfur, and dragons were coiled about their necks and shoulders and feet, and angels having fiery horns restrained them and smote them and closed their nostrils, saying, Why did you not know the time in which it was right to repent and to serve a higher, and did it not? And I asked, Sir, who are these? And he said unto me, These are they who seem to give up the world for a higher, putting on our guard, but the impediments of the world made them wretched, not maintaining agape, which is love. They did not pity widows and orphans. They did not receive the stranger and the pilgrim, nor did they offer the oblations, and they did not pity their neighbor. Moreover, their prayer did not even on one day ascend pure to the Most High power of higher, but many impediments of the world detained them, and they were not able to do right in the sight of a higher, and the angels enclosed them in the place of punishments. Moreover, they saw those who were in punishments and said unto them, We indeed, when we lived in the world, neglected the Most High, and ye also did likewise, as we also truly, when we were in the world, knew that we were yet sinners, that ye were sinners, but ye said, These are just servants of the Most High. Now we know why ye were called by the name of Ahiah, for which cause they also pay their own penalties. Okay, so we know everyone is going to get their payment. Everyone's payment is going to be rendered for their actions in the earth. So everyone right now is tallying up their own bills, and they are going to receive that reward when Christ returns. He's going to give every man their payment. Okay. So now we've read Second Ezra, we read the Parable of Hermas, we've read Matthew and the Apocalypse of Paul, telling us the importance of feeding the hungry, taking care of the widow and the orphan, and doing works of service. Clothing, feeding, charity. That is what we are to be doing in the earth. Okay, so now I am going to go back to the Sheperd of Hermas, and I'm going to read now. This is a lot of chapters as well, but we're going to get through it, guys. Hold on, let me pull it up first. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to start reading from verse 21. Verse 121, I'm sorry, verse 121 through, so this is Hermas 55, verse 121, and I'm going to read all the way to 133. Then I'll expound a little bit on that, then go from 138 to 146. All right, so if you all are not familiar with Hermas, this is another we've had so many records that have been removed, and so these aren't in the Apocrypha, but you can pull up the PDF, and so Hermas, he was able to see what took place at the end. He saw the church being built. He saw spirits that had people that had left their bodies in an attempt to enter heaven, and he saw what took place. All right. So verses 121, verse 121 reads, "And then I said, what is this tower? This," he said, "is the church. And what, sir, are these virgins?" He said unto me, "These are the Holy Spirits. For no man can enter into the kingdom of Ahiah except these clothe him with their garment. For it will avail thee nothing to take up the name of the son of Ahiah, unless thou shalt also receive their garment from them. For these virgins are the powers of the son of Ahiah. So shall a man in vain bear his name, unless he shall also be endowed with his powers." So I'm going to stop there for a minute. So it's telling us, not only do you have to know the name, and have the name, is kind of like when you show up at the gate, how you in those secret clubs, you have to knock and know what name to say to get in. You have to know the name, the importance of the name, and you also have to be clothed in righteousness, in the righteousness that are called virgins. And you're going to see that the very name of these 12 virgin righteous spirits are their clothing. Okay, and it says that Christ himself was clothed with all of these virgins, and that's what is expected for anyone to enter into the kingdom. Verse 123, And he said unto me, sawest thou these stones that were cast away? They bore indeed the name, but put not on their garment. I said, Sir, what is their garment? Their very names, he said, are the garments. Therefore, whosoever bears the name of the son of Ahiah ought to bear their names also. For the son of Ahiah himself bears their names. Okay, so we're going to keep going and we will see what those names are. But to go further, just a little backdrop, Hermas, he sees the church being built. He sees stones that are being put in place to build this beautiful building. He sees these beautiful stones that are being brought in and set one upon another. But then he sees some stones that are brought in, and these stones are being cast out or taken away. He asked, what's going on? What are these? And those stones were being taken away by some women dressed in black, some adulterous looking women that were dressed in black garments with their shoulders out and their hair out, and they were picking up some of the stones and taking them away. But he was told when he questioned what's going on with these stones, these were stones that bore the name of the Son of the Most High. They had his name, but they were not clothed in the right garments. They were not clothed with those 12 virgin spirits that they needed to be clothed with. All right, picking up at verse 124. Therefore, whosoever bears the name of the Son of the Most High ought also to bear their names, for the Son of Ahiah himself bears their names. As for those stones, continued he, which being delivered by their hands, thou sawest remains in the building, they were clothed with their power, for which cause thou seest the whole tower of the same color with the rock, and made it as it were of one stone. Also, also those who have believed in the Son, in those who have believed in the Most High power by his Son, have put on his spirit. Behold, there shall be one spirit and one body and one color of their garments, which we know is white. And all they shall attain this, who shall bear the names of these virgins. And I said, Sir, why then were those stones cast away, which were rejected, seeing that they were carried through the gate and delivered to the hands of the virgins into the building of the tower? Seeing, said he, thou take care to inquire diligently into all things. Here also concerning these stones which were rejected, all these received the name of the Son of Ahiah, and with the power of these virgins, having therefore received these spirits, they were perfected, and they were brought into the number of the servants of Ahiah, and they began to be one body and to have one garment, for they were endowed with the same righteousness, which they alike exercised. But after that, they beheld those women which thou sawest, that were clothed with the black garments, which their shoulders at liberty, and their hair loose, and they fixed their desires upon them, being tempted with their beauty, and were clothed with their power, and cast off the clothing of the virgins. All right, pay attention to this, guys. This is very important. Therefore, they were cast off from the house of Ahiah and delivered to those women. But they that were not corrupted with their beauty remained in the house of Ahiah. This said he, is the significance of those stones which were rejected. So he's saying these were people that knew, that had the name of the Most High, that had the name of the Son, that walked in the statutes, followed the commandments, and were clothed in righteousness, was clothed with the names of these righteous virgins. But as time went on, they started fixing their eyes on the lust of this world and the adulterous women of this world, and we will get into who those spirits are. And so they were turned over to them. They were turned over to them. And they, even though they were brought in the house and counted in the number, they were cast out and turned over to those other adulterous spirits, which are identified as adulterous women. Okay, so 132, and I said, sir, what if any of these men shall repent and cast away their desire for those women and be converted and return to these virgins and put on their garments of virtue? Shall they not enter into the house of Ahiah? They shall enter, he said, if they shall lay aside all the works of those women and shall resume the power of these virgins and shall walk in their works. Okay, so that is verse 133. And now I'm going to jump down to verse 138 and read to 146. Okay, here said he, the name of the son of Ahiah is great and without bonds, and the whole world is supported by it. How amazing. How amazing that the whole world, the foundation, the whole world is held up and supported by the name of the Son of the Most High Power. If therefore, said I, every creature of Ahiah be sustained by his Son, why should he not support those also who have been invited by him and carry his name and walk in his commandments? Y'all, the name is so important. Those who carry his name and walk in his commandments. All right? Seest thou not, said he, that he does support them who with all their hearts bear his name? He therefore is their foundation and gladly supports those who do not deny his name, but willingly bear it. And I said, sir, tell me the names of these virgins and of those women that were clothed with the black garments. Here said he, the names of these virgins, which are the more powerful and stand at the corners of the gate. These are their names. The first is called Faith. The second, Countenance. The third, Power. The fourth, Patience. The rest which stand beneath these are simplicity, innocence, chastity, cheerfulness, truth, understanding, concord, and charity. So there's a total of 12 virgins. Let's read them again. The first is called Faith. The second, Countenance. The third, Power. The fourth, Patience. The rest which stand beneath these are simplicity, innocence, chastity, cheerfulness, truth, understanding, concord, and charity. Whosoever therefore bear these names and the name of the Son of the Most High Power shall enter into the kingdom of Ahiah. So those names, it's like having on a big garment, and the garments have those names on them. The names are the garments. You are to be clothed in righteousness in the names of these righteous virgins, which the Son of the Most High Power himself carries upon him. He's clothed in them himself. So you need to have his name and be clothed in the same garments that he's clothed in. It takes me back to that wedding supper, the marriage supper, and the person that was there in the wrong garments and was told to get out and taken to, thrown into hellfire or whatnot. Verse 144. Here now said he, the names of these women which were clothed with the black garments. These are the adulterous women that were clothed in the black garments that we are not to lust after. We're not to lust after them so that we won't be taken away or turned over to them and carried away by them. Of these four are the principal. The first is perfidiousness. Perfidiousness, which means basically tyranny. The second, contention. Countenance. In countenance. In countenance. The third is infidelity. The fourth, pleasure. And the rest which follow are called sadness, malice, lust, anger, lying, foolishness, pride, and hatred. The servant of the Most High, which carries these spirits, shall see indeed the kingdom of the Most High. They shall see the kingdom of Ahiah, but shall not enter into it. Okay. They shall see the kingdom, but not enter into it. So let's read those again. The first is perfidiousness, which is being a tyrant or tyranny. The second, incontinence. The third, infidelity. The fourth, pleasure. The rest which follow, sadness, malice, lust, anger, lying, foolishness, pride, and hatred. So you will show up at the gate and be able to see the kingdom or see, but you won't enter in. You won't enter in if any of those things are found in you. Okay? If you're clothed with those garments, those garments are not heavenly garments. Those spirits are not heavenly spirits. And so if any of those spirits are found in you, you have not overcome the world. You have to overcome. So now I'm just going to go ahead and jump. Since this just came to me, I'm going to go to John 14 and 30. Let's see, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John 14 and 30. And it reads, hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world comes and has nothing in me. All right. This is our King, Yeshua, saying that the prince of this world comes and he has nothing in me. Now I'm going to read this same verse from the Amplified. I will not talk with you much more, for the prince, the evil genius ruler of the world is coming, and he has no claim on me. He has nothing in common with me, and there is nothing in me that belongs to him. and he has no power over me. So if anything that belongs to him, the prince of this world, such as those 12 adulterous spirits that I just read to you all, if any of those are found in you, you have not overcome. You overcome, and the enemy has no claim to you. The enemy, I'm sorry, the enemy has a claim to you. You have not overcome if those spirits are found in you. You overcome when nothing that belongs to the enemy, nothing, none of his spirits, none of his attributes, none of his ways are found in you, and you are therefore blameless, without spot or blemish, and the accuser can accuse you of nothing. Okay. Now we are going to go to the book of Revelations, chapter 14, verses 1 through 5. And it reads, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they were virgins. These were they which followed the Lamb wheresoever he goeth. These were redeemed among men, being the first fruits unto Ahiah and unto the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne of Ahiah." All right. So we've heard this verse being taught many times and in many different ways. And the virgin is 144 men, and they are all virgin or keeping themselves like they're some type of monks, or you know, priests or something, that are abstaining themselves from women. That is not the case. These are men and women coming into the knowledge, coming before the throne, that were found blameless, not defiled with any of those adulterous women, no malice, no guile, no lust or perversion, no tyranny, and all these other things were found in them. They were blameless, and they were virgins, meaning they had the spirits of countenance, patience, and charity, and everything that Christ was clothed in, everything that was holy and pure that Christ was clothed in. They were found clothed in those same virgin garments. That's now we have the precepts. Okay, so now again, I am going to go to the Apocalypse of Paul, and I'm going to read, start at verse 14. Okay, guys, and this is a long verse, brothers and sisters, but I have to read it. I'll try not to read all of it, but it's very long. Okay. Okay, verse 14. And I, when I heard this, sighed and wept, and I said to the angel, I wish to see the souls of the just and of sinners, excuse me, and to see in what manner they go out of the body. And the angel answered and said unto me, look again upon the earth. And I looked and saw all the world, and men were as naught and a wanting. And I looked carefully and saw a certain man about to die. And the angel said unto me, this one whom thou seest is a just man. And I again, and I looked again and saw all his works, whatever he had done for the sake of a highest name, and all his desires, both what he remembered and what he did not remember. They all stood in his sight in the hour of need. And I saw the just man advance and find refreshment and confidence. And before he went out of the world, the holy and the impetuous angels both attended. So the holy and the unrighteous or unholy angels both attended. They were both there as he was leaving out of the body. And I saw all of them. I saw them all, but the impetuous angels found no place of habitation in him, but the holy took possession of his soul, guiding it till it went out of the body, and they roused the soul, saying, soul, know thy body, whence thou goest out, for it is necessary that thou should return to the same body on the day of resurrection, that thou mayest receive the things promised to all the just. Receiving therefore the soul from the body, they immediately kissed it as familiarly known to them, and saying unto them, do mindfully, for thou hast done the will of a higher while placed in the earth. And there came to meet him the angel who watched him every day and said unto him, do mindfully, soul, for I rejoice in thee, because thou hast done the will of the Most High on the earth. For I related to Ahiah all thy works, which as they were, similarly also the Spirit proceeded to meet him and said, so fear not, nor be disturbed until thou comes into a place which thou hast never known, but I will be a helper unto thee. For I have found in thee a place of refreshment in the time when I dwell in thee, while I was on the earth. And his spirit strengthened him, and his angel received him and led him into heaven. And the angel said, whither runnest thou, O soul, and dost thou dare to go into heaven? Wait, and let us see if there is anything of ours in thee. And behold, we find nothing in thee. I see also thine divine helper and angel, and the Spirit is rejoicing along with thee, because thou hast done the will of the Most High Power on earth. And they led him along till he should worship in the sight of Ahiah. Okay, so and there's much more. I'll link this PDF for those of you that want to read it, but this is what it looks like for when we leave the body. We saw that the unholy angels as well as the holy angels were both there, and they got to search him out and see was there anything of them found in the person. And let's go down to this next verse where he sees someone that had not walked in the things of the Most High. So verse 15, and he said unto me, look again down on the earth and watch the soul of an impetuous man going out of the body, which vexed Ahiah day and night, saying, I know nothing else in this world. I eat, I drink, and I enjoy what is in the world. For who is there? Who is there? Who has ascended into hell and ascended and has declared to us that there is judgment there? So see, this person was saying like nobody's really been to heaven or hell to say that there's truly a judgment. So I'm eating good, I'm drinking good, and I'm enjoying the pleasures of this world. And again, I looked carefully and saw all the scorn of the sinner and all that he did. And they stood together before him in the hour of need. And it was done to him in that hour in which he was threatened about his body at the judgment. And I said, it were better for him if he had not been born. And after these things, there came at the same time the holy angels and the malign or the unholy angels and the soul of the sinner, and the holy angels did not find a place in it. Moreover, the malign angels cursed it. And when they had drawn it out of the body, the angels admonished it a third time, saying, O wretched soul, look upon thy flesh where thou camest out. For it is necessary that thou should return to thy flesh in the day of resurrection, that thou mayest receive the due for thy sins and for thine iniquities. And when they had led it forth, the customary angel preceded it and said unto it, O wretched soul, I am the angel belonging to thee, relating daily to Ahiah thy malign works, whatever thou did by day or by night or day, and if it were in my power, not for one day would I minister unto thee. But none of these things was I able to do. The judge is pitiful and just, and he himself commanded us that we should not cease to minister to the soul till you should repent. But thou hast lost the time of repentance. Indeed, I was strange to thee, and thou to me. Let us go on then to the just judge, and I will not dismiss thee before I know from today why I was strange to thee. Okay, and the spirit confounded him, and the angel troubled him. When therefore they had arrived at the power, when he started to enter heaven, a labor was imposed upon him. Above all other labors, error and oblivion and murmuring met him, and the spirit of fornication and the rest of the powers, and said to him, Whither goest thou, wretched soul? And dare thou to rush into heaven? Hold, that we may see if we have any of our qualities in thee, since we do not see that thou hast a helper, a holy helper. And after that, I heard the voices in the height of heaven saying, Present this wretched soul to Ahiah, that it may know that it was Ahiah that it despised. When therefore it had entered into heaven, all the angels saw it 1,000,000, and exclaimed with one voice, all saying, Woe to thee, O wretched soul, for the sake of thy works, which thou did on the earth. What answer art thou going to give to Ahiah when thou shalt have approached to adore him? The angel who was with it answered and said, Weep for me, my beloved, for I have not found rest in this soul. And the angels answered him and said, let such a soul be taken away from the midst of ours. For from the time he's entered, the stink of him has crossed to us angels. And after these things, it was presented that it might worship in the sight of Ahiah, and an angel of Ahiah showed him Ahiah, who made him after his own image and likeness. Moreover, his angel ran before him, saying, O most high power, I am the angel of this soul whose works I presented to thee day and night, not doing according to thy judgment, and the spirit likewise, and I am the spirit who dwelt in it from the time it was made. And it in itself, moreover, I know it, and it has not followed my will. Judge it, Ahiah, according to thy judgments. And there came the voice of Ahiah to it and said, Where is thy fruit, which thou hast made worthy of the goods which thou hast received? Have I put a distance of one day between thee and the just man? Did I not make the sun rise upon thee as the just? But the soul was silent, having nothing to answer. So I'll you guys, I'm going to just stop reading right here. If you all want to read more, you can, but we see what's taking place. So now I'm going to go to Jeremiah 17, verse 10. Jeremiah 17 and 10. And it reads, I, Ahiah, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. So who's really searching us out? It's Ahiah. He's testing, he's searching us out, he's testing the reins, he's seeing what of his essence is found in us and what of the enemy's essence is found in us. And basically, whatever whatever is found in you, whoever was your master, whatever you served in the earth is where you're going. It's who you're going with. So that's Jeremiah 17 and 10. All right. So now we're going to go to, I'm going to read Psalms 82. Psalms 82 reads, a psalm of Asaph. Elohim stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges amongst the gods. Little g. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and the needy, and rid them out of the hands of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, and all the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, Elohim, and judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. So I've heard this verse being taught again incorrectly. This is the Most High Ahiah having a conversation with the children, his first children, which were the angels that left their first estate. He's having a conversation with them saying, how long will you judge unjustly? He sent them into the earth to defend the poor and the fatherless and do justice to the afflicted and the needy, to deliver the poor and the needy and rid them out of the hands of the wicked. But now, because they've left their first estate, all the earth is out of course. And he says to them, ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High, but you're going to die like men, because now we know that they have their judgment. We know that their judgment is death and everlasting punishment for what they've done. What did they do? They left their first estate. We just learned what their first estate was. They were supposed to be in the earth doing the same thing that Ezra and Hermas and Matthew 25 told us to do. We know that humanity, that mankind, we were created the same as the angels. We were created a little lower than the angels, but we were created with the same purpose as the angels, as children of the Most High, and we're supposed to be doing those things. All right. So we know that Genesis 6:2 through 4 tells us that the sons of God, the angels left their first estate. They came into this earth and they made it with women, and they created giants. They created giants. So we're going to get into that just a little bit. Well, I don't know what that is. We're going to get into that just a little bit. So I'm going to read Jude 1 and 6. Okay, Jude 1 and 6 says, and the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he has reserved. He has reserved to be in everlasting chains under darkness into the judgment of the great day. All right. So let's get into a little bit of what they did, guys. I'm going to read from the book of Enoch. I'm going to read a little bit from verses chapter 6 through 8. Okay, chapter 6. Enoch chapter 6. And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days there were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters, and the angels, the children of heaven. So he said, you are sons of the Most High, but you're going to die like men. The angels, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said unto one another, come, and let us choose wives from amongst the children of men, and begot us children. And Semjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear that ye will not agree to do this deed, and that I alone shall have to pay the penalty of this great sin. And they all answered him and said, let us all swear an oath and all bind ourselves by one mutual imprecation, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual imprecation upon it. And they were all 200. who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Harmon. And they called it Mount Harmon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual implications upon it. Okay, and then it goes into the names of all of these chief angels, but I'm not going to say their name. And all the others together with them, this is verse chapter 7. All the others with them took upon themselves wives, and each chose for themselves one, and they began to go into them and to defile themselves with them, and they taught them charms and enchantments and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants, and they became pregnant, and they bore great giants whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men, and the men could no longer sustain them. The giants then turned them and devoured mankind, and began to sin against the birds and the beasts and the reptiles and the fish, and to devour one another's flesh and to drink the blood. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. All right. So now verse 8, chapter 8 tells us that Azazel taught the men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the arts of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and antimony is I looked that up. Let me show you all. You guys are going to be pretty amazed with that. Well, I know I was. Basically, it says a contradiction between two beliefs or confusion that are in themselves reasonable. Okay, this is the word
antinomy.
Antinomy. So I said in antinomy, but it's antinomy. Okay, antinomy refers to a real or apparent mutual incompatibility of two laws. It is a term used in logic and epistology. All right, so this is what I doubt, confusion. This is what they started to use, and what antimony, which basically is doubt, to have mankind to doubt and question the validity of the Most High's word, of his laws. He started in the garden with Eve. This is who Azazel is. Azazel. We know he's also Gadreel and Satan. But when he asked Eve, did he really say you will die? To put that doubt, to have mankind to doubt the Most High and doubt his word, and then start not believing and not trusting. That's what that means. Okay, and he taught the beautifying of the eyelids and all kinds of costly stones and all coloring tinctures, and there arose much godlessness, Salakia, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. And Semjaza taught enchantments and root cuttings. And another taught the resolving of enchantment, and another taught astrology, and another constellations, and the knowledge of the clouds, and the signs of the earth, and the signs of the sun, and the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cries went up to heaven. So that's what we see, where we get a lot of these things from. Now I'm going to jump to verse 69. Enoch 69 verses 4 through 12. Okay, guys, brothers and sisters, I know this is it's long. I'm going to just read this, and the other scriptures I may just link them in the description box instead of reading them all. But we get the gist of what we must do to be saved. But I want to read this because I want to show you how we were led astray. All right, verse 69, verses 4 through 12. So verse 4 says, and the name of the first one was Jequon. That is the one who led astray all the sons of power, and who brought them down to the earth and led them astray to the daughters of men. And the second was named Asbeel, and he imparted to the holy ones of power evil counsel, and led them astray, so that they defiled their bodies with the daughters of men. And the third was Gadreel, and it was he who showed the children of men all the blows of death, and he led astray Eve, and he showed the weapons of death to the sons of men, the shield and the coat of mail, and the sword for battle, and all the weapons of death to the children of men. And from his hands they have proceeded against those who dwell on the earth from that day and forevermore. And the fourth was named Pememue. He taught the children of men the bitter and sweet, and he taught them the secrets of wisdom, and he instructed mankind in writing with paper and ink. So we're not supposed to write with paper and ink, y'all. And therefore many have sinned from eternity to eternity until this day, for men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good faith with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the angels, to the intent that they should continue to be pure and righteous, and death, which destroys everything, could not have taken hold of them. But through this their knowledge they are perishing, and through this power it is consuming me. And the fifth was named Kasdeja. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smiting of the embryo in the womb, that it may pass. So he's the one that taught abortions, the smiting of the embryos in the womb, that it may pass. And he taught the smiting of the soul, the bites of the serpent, and the smiting which befalls through the noontide heat. So this is how we went astray. We see what the angels were commanded to do, what we were commanded to do, and how this earth is going. More than none, we've been taught to search or, seek for that American dream. We've been taught, like makeup. They taught makeup and beautifying of the eyelids. We have people that have YouTube videos that are dedicated to just making up the face, makeup tutorials. beautifying themselves, their hair, and even with us being taught to seek wisdom as far as going to college and moving up various degrees, becoming a master mason and a doctor mason, moving up, graduating high school as a mason apprentice, and then moving up various degrees in masonry, and learning the knowledge of this world, and to write with pen and paper, or ink, ink and paper, which the Most High did not call us to do. He called us to live simple, to live simple lives, and seek him, and the wisdom that we are supposed to seek, the knowledge that we're supposed to seek is the spirit of wisdom, so that we can grow in the spirit. But I have Ephesians 1 and 4, Ephesians 5 and 11, Ephesians 5 and 5, Ephesians 4 verses 17 through 32, 1 John 3, 4 through 12. I think that talks about no sinner, no fornicator, no adulterer, no liar, and so on will enter into the kingdom. 1 John 3, 22 through 24, 1 John 5, verses 1 through 5, Hebrews 6 and 10. Hebrews 6 and 10 reads, "For Ahiah is not unrighteous to forget your works and your labor of love which you have showed towards his name, that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister." And then I want to say Ephesians, not, is it Ephesians or is it Hebrews? Oh, I'm sorry, you all. Yeah, that was Hebrews 6 and 10. But then what's this? Hebrews 10 and 38. Let me see what that is. That just says the just shall live by faith. Remember, we saw that faith was important. That was number one. The number one spirit we must have. And if any man draws back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But there was a scripture, I can't remember it, where Christ said that anyone who even gave a cold drink of water to one of his would definitely inherit the kingdom. Just gave a cold drink of water in his name or in the name of one of his disciples, that person will see the kingdom. Okay, that's Matthew 10 verse 42. Sorry about that. Matthew 10, 42, and I'm going to go ahead and close it out, but I'll link all these verses when I get an opportunity in the description box. Matthew 10 and 42, "And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall have no wise to lose his reward." All right. He shall in no wise lose his reward. So I pray that this video, you all, is edifying. I pray that we all have strength to endure. I pray for you, your families, yourselves, as this time of testing is drawing near. The Most High has showed me a lot of things that is going to take place in 2024. So now I will be releasing like more prophetic things that have been shown to me. And I just pray all of our strength to endure. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. You all have a blessed day. And until the next video, brothers and sisters, peace and blessings to you.